Alright, take two. I accidentally shut off the last recording. So, anyways, welcome back. This is Backfire 42. Now, if you have never played the game Elite Dangerous, that's what this game is. It is a very good, very cool space simulation game. Basically, you start off the game with a spaceship, you're a pilot of that ship, and you go out and get jobs. You can do exploration, you can do combat, you can do trading, you can do bounty hunting, piracy. You can even dabble in a little bit of politics and help certain factions in the game try to expand power. Now, I'm not really going to get into that quite yet. Now, I'll probably do other tutorials in Elite Dangerous and talk a little bit more about Elite Dangerous. I'm going to do something called a voice pack tutorial. Because I just found out voice packs, and I've been playing around with them for the last couple days, and they are awesome. But I'll do that. That'll be my next tutorial, is the voice pack stuff. Anyways, what I wanted to do today is basically, for anyone who's familiar with Elite Dangerous, try to educate them on a massive way to get massive amounts of credits in the game in just like one sitting. Well, maybe not one sitting. And it can be a little time consuming, yes, but everything in Elite Dangerous is time consuming, and this way it's relatively easy. It's a little bit of a grind, but if you're patient, you could get up to 150 million credits in about 10 goes. That's what I did. Well, I didn't get quite to 150. I got to about closer to 140 million credits. So what is it I'm talking about? Okay, so first thing that you got to do. Now, this is the mistake I did last time in my last recording, because I used the hotkey. Used to have my Galaxy map hotkey to M, but I have that hotkey on the Fraps to record, so I'm not going to do that. So, first thing is you got to set a course to this station that you're in. Now, where are we exactly? So you bring up your Galaxy map. Now we are sitting in the Quince system. Okay. Now it is about 480 light years away from the bubble, which is down in here. That's the area of civilized, settled space where most humans are. Earth is in there somewhere. My Asp Explorer can probably get here in about 10 to 12 jumps if you set on the fastest route possible. So head to Quince, and in the Quince system you need to go to Miller Port Station. Okay, so you just open up the system menu in the Quince system and set a course for Miller Port. Since I'm already here, I can't do that. So once you get here, this is what you got to do next. Okay, so you arrive here, and the key thing here, and this is going to help you out a lot, especially saving some time. Key thing that you need to do is go to the shipyard. Okay, you go over here to the shipyard. Open up the shipyard. You're going to buy yourself a new ship. Now, if you want to sell your old ship, fine. I wouldn't recommend it. Now, their selections are pretty limited. They had a Sidewinder, a Hauler, and a Type 9 Heavy, which can be pretty expensive. And those of you that know this game, Type 9s aren't that useful unless you like trading, which I do not. I'm more of an explorer type. But this is what I recommend you do. Store your old ship. Buy a Sidewinder. Now, I've already bought a Sidewinder. Now, you just need the basic Sidewinder. Don't put anything more in it. It only costs 32,000 credits. Now, the reason for that, I'll get to near the end of the video. But get yourself the Sidewinder. Don't put any new stuff in it, except you've got to make sure that you have. Gotta make sure that you have a cargo bay of a 4 capacity, and you have to have a planetary vehicle hangar with at least one Scarab in it. If you don't have that, this is not going to work, because you have to land on a planet and go driving around a little bit. Okay, have to have a cargo rack, because that will open up most of your missions. You have to have a planetary vehicle hangar. Now, what are we talking about here? So, what you need to do is you need to go, once you got all that set, you go over to the mission board. And what you're going to do is you're going to look for these types of missions. Anything with this symbol here. You can see it's 1,339,272 credits. Okay. These are surface scans. Now they're very easy to do. Okay. And the thing is, you can stack these. So I can take a whole bunch of them right here. You know, there's two here. There's one here, and there's one here. And it doesn't look like there's any others being offered. All right. Now the thing is with Millerport, and why you do it at Millerport is for some reason, every once in a while, you'll come into the mission board and they'll be like, this guy will be offering 10 surface installation scan missions. 10. And if you select all of them, they'll all stack. Now, normally, anywhere else, you can only take a maximum of 3 of these at a time. Here, for some reason, you can take as many as are offered. So what you really need to do is you need to find a point when there's a huge stack of these types of missions available. One other thing that I learned that I learned the hard way when I got out here the first time, your reputation with these factions that are at this station has to be high enough. Now I'm not sure, it varies based off of the person. Okay, so at least have to be friendly, target friendly, and then these missions will start becoming available. If your reputation with them is too low, then they're going to be unavailable. They'll look like this mission right here, requirements not met. So like, why? Oh, it's because donate 4 units of non-lethal weapons. They want me to bring in non-lethal weapons. Or like this person here who absolutely doesn't really like me. The Jet family does not like me. So the question is, how do we get maximum stats? Well, one thing, you can wait around for it to reset, or you can do this. This is a little trick that I learned. Okay, now you hit escape, you go back to this menu. Now take a note of which mode you're playing, which game mode you're playing in, because there's 2 modes if you've played this game before. Right now I'm currently in open mode. So what you need to do is you need to go to the save and exit to main menu. Okay, say yes. Don't take any missions unless you get a huge stack. Okay, then remember that I was playing in open mode. Hit back to start. Go down to solo. I'll log you back in to that same area. But now you're on solo mode. Now that basically what solo mode is basically you're not interacting with any real life players anymore. You still got all the rest of the game. There's certain differences with exploration, but other than that, everything's still the same. Okay? So now you go back in, check the mission board again. See if we got it. We have a hit. And we might let this all provide this. Okay, well, there's a decent amount right now, actually. So it's actually kind of good. Insufficient cargo capacity for some reason. Counterinsurgency. Okay, I might have something in my cargo bay. There's a decent chunk there, so we'll use that one. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6. You can see higher. I've seen it. I'm going to use the 6. So basically, you just take it because I mean, look, 2.2 mil right here. Boom. Just accept it. 959,000. That's a lot. Now these all add up. 1 mil, 1.09 mil. 314,000. 625,000. 159,000. Okay, that's 299,000. I might have something in my cargo bay somewhere. Let's see what else. And they should be popping up soon, so we'll give you notification in a second. Available mission. Yep, take that one too. So you take all of them. Here they come. You can hear them now. And 146,000. Okay. Let me see if I have anything in my cargo bay. I might. Yep, I do. Microwave cooling hoses. Okay. Get rid of that. I should go back and get the other one that was available. Because what that does is it's given me the option. It's not offered anymore. Huh, it disappeared. Oh well, doesn't matter. We've got about 7 or 8, I believe. So if you look over here in your contacts, oh sorry, your transactions, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now they're all various different times that you gotta get them done in, but you can get them all done in one shot. 1, 2, 3. Lost count. 8. Okay. Now, if for some reason you keep coming back and you see not a big enough stack, now what you do is you keep doing what we just did, going from open play to solo play, then to open play, then solo play, open play, solo play, over and over and over again until you see a massive, huge stack. Now we've got 8 right there. We technically had 9, but the other one sort of disappeared. I've seen stacks. I've had stacks up to like 15 or 16. All with that various anywhere from 150,000 credits to almost 2 million, and you take them all 15 to 20. You do one thing, and you turn them all. You come back here and turn them all in, and get a huge, massive amount of some influx of cash. So, what do we do? So, another good thing about this is the location is the planet that this station is orbiting. So, you got to set the target for Kosmala rewards. That's the planet we're orbiting. Lock destination. Okay, and you're going to launch. Taking a drink. Like I said, get your bare minimum Sidewinder because of what you're going to do once you're done. I just love the graphics. Look, there's a Type 9 Heavy right there in the landing pad. So you see a player? I don't know. Nope, just a NPC. Alright, so leave the station. Yeah, bring up the landing gear. Smaller rewards up in the distance right there, so let's book it. And get far enough away from the space station to where you're no longer mass locked. You can see the button on the bottom right. Those of you that aren't familiar with this game, although if you're watching this video, you're pretty sure on how the basic controls of this work. Okay, so we are clear of the station, so now you just jump in Super Cruise. Okay, and head towards the planet. Now, at some point, once you get into Super Cruise, there we go. Once you get into Super Cruise, you're going to get to the planet real quick because it's really close. Then eventually a notification is going to pop up. Once that happens, you need to stop and retarget something. Okay? See, there's a notification. Okay, so it gave you the region of the planet that you're going to. So you're going to the Search Zone Outpost. Okay. Now it will change because you're basically scanning a certain region for a specific location, a specific outpost. All right. Get into orbit here. Balance out my power distribution. Prepare for orbit. Flight. Okay. Now I never really do like landing on planets, whether it's just landing on the surface or landing on a surface installation. It just seems time consuming to me than landing on, say, like on stations. But that's just me. Okay, there. Now we can come down to Super Cruise. Or not Super Cruise, Glide. Speed. Come on. Going to glide. High. Bring it up. Change the angle of approach a little bit. your throttle down to 0 because you're just going to be cruising in at 2500 kph. Now, it might still be a little far out, but I don't know. You'll be cruising like this until you reach a certain altitude. But you're going at a relatively decent speed. The reason I say bring your throttle down to 0, because you're just falling right now. And at some point, you're going to come out of auto glide, and you're going to go back into just regular engine control. And sometimes if you're coming in too steep, you can almost hit the ground. And I've done that before. Now, with my shields on this ship, they're not that powerful. Going at that speed, you'd probably die. But I've done it with my Asp Explorer, crash into a planet way out in the middle of nowhere, and I'm like, my hull got down to like 16%, and now I'm like 1,500 light years away from the nearest place that can fix me. So basically, you gotta get closer in here. Failed insufficient cargo. Bring it up to max thrust. Increase the distance. See, it came in my approach a little too shallow. But what are you gonna do? I still haven't mastered the planetary landing part of this game. This kind of stuff takes place out in space. A lot of people will come in on a straight, steep angle. I came in on a little bit more of a shallower angle, a very shallow angle. And every once in a while, especially if you're in a open play, we're in solo play right now, so we're not going to run into any of them. But in open play, you can run into players out here doing the exact same thing you are. I've come out here before, and I've run into 4 other guys just doing the exact same thing I am. Most of the time, I'd say about 8 times out of 10, they just leave you alone if you leave them alone. But every once in a while, you just have that one guy that just will attack you, just because he's that way. He's a jerk. Which is another reason why you want to go in with a cheap ship, because the cheaper the ship is, the easier it is to replace. The cheaper it is to replace. Come on, let's keep going. We're about 30 kilometers out. We're getting closer, but it is time consuming. We're about 3 kilometers above the ground, as you can see. Bring it up a bit. Change the angle. Alright, now you heard that sound, that it changed. See, it went further out now. We're in the air. We're in the region that we're looking for. We're going to increase altitude a little bit. Maybe get a higher angle on it on approach. Maybe another speed boost, and then now let's see where we're at. Didn't help much. Apparently this is going to be a long one. I wasn't intending this to be a long video, but apparently it's going to be a long one. It's not supposed to be. That is the one problem with having this Sidewinder. It's slow as get out. All get out. 25 kilometers. 5 kilometers from the surface. 5 kilometers up, 23 kilometers, 23 and a half out. Out, 4 kilometers above the surface. Should probably be changing again. approach, you can actually see little outposts on the ground. And I've come in and I've like seen like 4 in the area from the air. Alright, we're getting kind of close to the ground here. I still don't see the outpost. There it goes. Down to half. Alright, they found it. Nope. Now they found it. Right over it, too. Alright, that ship is just basically an NPC. You don't really have to worry about it. Especially since my reputation with the Empire is so high up. Alright, whoa, get a little close to the ground. Deploying landing gear. When you put your landing gear down, that usually tends to slow you down. So sometimes if you see that you're like getting in a little too fast to your target, then put down your landing gear. You should be fine. So 112 meters. Let's get a little further, like over in this direction. Alright. The terrain seems a little rocky, so we might have a problem finding suitable landing areas. Wait, oh shoot. Just found one. There we go. Okay, now you've landed on the planet. Next thing you gotta do is this is why you need the planetary hangar. Deploy your SRV. And then now what you gotta do is you gotta go out and you've got to scan a data point inside that little facility that you saw. Yeah, low gravity warning. Yeah. Of course it's low gravity warning. That's why I planned it. Now the reason I landed so close, just less amount of distance to go. Now I can see, you see these people are green to me, so they kind of like me, but once I get into their area, they're going to not like me anymore. Well, maybe not. Okay, so what you need to do then is go into your turret, select the data point right there, and scan it. Now you got your alerts. You've now completed your mission. So no matter what happens to you now, you got it. Now this is the reason. This is the reason why I said you need to have the Sidewinder and don't put anything in it, like powerful engines or weapons or anything like that, because anything you put in it is just going to increase the rebuy cost. Now why do we need a cheapo ship to do this? Why can't I just do this in my nice big pretty Anaconda? Well, one, that for instance, this location here, they like me. They didn't mind me scanning their data point for some reason. I don't know why, but okay. But most of the time when you come to one of these areas and you do that, you come into an area, they're not going to like you being there. They're going to start shooting you. And a lot of times, because you're running away, you're fighting back, they'll either blow up your ship or they'll blow up your SRV. Okay? So you don't want to risk your expensive Anaconda or asking for or whatever on these missions. You need a cheapo ship because this will do just nicely. Okay, so normally what I tend to do is I get back in the ship, board the ship. Normally at this time I'm getting shot at. I've gotten to the place where my ship was shot down, was exploded before I got back into it. Gotten to where my SRV was destroyed. Gotten to where I've gotten into the ship and they blew me up on the ground, but in this case it's pretty good, so we don't have to worry about it. So what you need to do now, and this is just to save you on some time, so you don't necessarily have to fly all the way back. Since you got a cheapo ship with nothing on it, all you need to do really is to launch, go up high. Now about, if 500 meters up right now. Now, I'm going to, you don't necessarily have to do this, but I usually tend to do it just to make it easier. Turn off your shields. Now point your ship at the ground. Set your engines to full and hit your afterburners. And fly into the ground. Or don't hit your afterburners. Just fly into the ground, blow yourself up. That worked too. Oh, maybe it did. Come on. I don't know why my afterburner. Oh, landing gear's up. That's why my afterburner's not working. Let's go back up again. Afterburners won't go off with your landing gear up. Alright, now go down. Point at the ground, full engines, and afterburners, go. Fly into the ground. Boom. Blow up your ship. Now the reason you do that is because this will spawn you back in the last station that you were in, or the last landing pad that you were in, okay? It's like, well, why can't I do that in my ASP Explorer? Well, there's a reason for that. ASP Explorers have a very expensive rebuy cost, okay? If I was to do that in my ASP Explorer, the way it's set up right now, it would cost me probably upwards of around 200,000 credits to replace it. In this case, to replace this ship, it's only 2,788 credits, and it will spawn at Millerport. Or you can have the choice of going back to Trevithick Dock, which is the very first station you started off when you created the game. So basically, you use your insurance, you spend 2,788 credits, make sure you go out and you have 2,788 credits or this whole thing is worthless. Alright, confirm. Basically, you get the old ship back that you just blew up with all the bells and whistles that you had. Now what do you do? Well, Starport Services. It's very easy. Now you don't have to worry about flying all the way back here, requesting docking clearance, landing, blah, 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 blah. You just teleported right back. Go to the mission board and just turn in. Now look, all of these missions, I did one thing. I had 8 missions. All of these missions are ready for hand-in because doing one thing caused them all to come in. I got one there and one there. Alright, so I'm at 18,511,083. Just write that down. Let's say 18.5 million. Okay, I'm going to turn in. So right there. Now I'm up to 20.7 million. 2.2 million right there. So I was at 18.5. 959,000. A little over a million. 314,000. 625,000. 159,000. 746,000. And my last one, 146,000. Okay, that was it. Yes. Okay, so I went from 18.5 million to 24.7 million. So grand total, let's say, running up to 25 million. 7.5 million or 6.5 million credits right there, all in one go. And that was a small one. Like I said, I've been like, I've had stacks of like, I had one stack of 21 million, and I got 21 jobs, and I swear I got 23 million from doing that one little sequence of jobs. All right, now all you have to do is just go back and forth between open play and solo play and open play and solo play until you see a huge stack. And I'm not talking about the stack that we took, which was a relatively medium-sized stack. It was decently good if you haven't had, but I'm saying like a huge stack. When you see like these numbers here showing 10 and there's like a 5 down in here or down in here or something like that, that's a good stack, especially if it's all of those types of missions. Okay, take that. That's the one that's what you're really looking for. All right, and you do that several times. You can make upwards of 100 mil in like 10 goes easily. All right, by doing that about 10 times, doing 10 of those types of missions. All right, so that's the end of it I got for today. This is Backfire 42. See you next time.